Hello, this is Coyle from the band God Forbid, and right now we're going to be working on a song called To the Fallen Heroes off the Constitution of Treason album, which came out in 2005, and we're going to be playing this in drop C tuning. To the Fallen Heroes is a very pivotal song for the band God Forbid, and actually probably one of, if not the most popular song. I think for us it was the first time we had really written a song that had a kind of big, soaring, catchy chorus, but it wasn't just the kind of bubblegum pop thing. The song really stemmed from some of the military conflicts that were going on. It was inspired by the death of Dimebag Darrell, and it was a tribute song to those who weren't with us, and really paying honor and tribute. And I think along with the music video kind of tied into that, and people really responded, and it's still something that people connect with as on an emotional level, which is essentially what songs are at their core, is lyrics and words, and that mean something and tell a story. So it was very pivotal from that standpoint. It was also pivotal in musical terms, because we had gotten more intricate with the guitar work, a lot more very fine, specific right hand picking. The melodies were stronger, more thought out, more interplay between both guitars, where one guitar would be playing chords, for example, and another guitar would be playing a more complex melody. So the band was becoming more of a, I'd say, traditional heavy metal band, and we were honing in on our songwriting skills, writing songs more in a traditional vein. So I think you'll have fun playing this one. I usually do. There's definitely plenty of challenging bits, and once you get it down, though, it takes you to another place in terms of rhythm guitar and really getting tight. That's something that even when I play it to this day, if I'm playing the song well and I'm playing it tight, I know I'm doing my job technique-wise. We're going to work on the guitar solo for To the Fallen Heroes. This solo actually presented one of the biggest challenges on the record for me. Even though it's a chord progression that I'm used to playing over, for some reason it really kind of had me stuck in a place that I couldn't, really struggled. So the actual solo that I'll be playing now, and also played on the demo, is slightly different from the solo I played on the album. I took some of the notes, and there's one pattern that on the record is, I changed it live, so I played. It just seemed to sound a bit smoother to me. Live, actually. So I'll show it to you in different sections, and you can kind of utilize it in whichever way feels best for you. Here's phrase 1. Phrase 2. Here's phrase 3. And here's phrase 4. So in this fourth phrase, I do a run where usually sometimes if I'm doing a run, I'll tend to fill each section with actual notes, but this time I actually use some muted scrapes or muted out notes to fill in there. And when it's done at a quick speed, sometimes it's actually hard to hear the difference between a palm muted note and an actual scrape or hitting a muted string. So I'll show it again slow, and you can see exactly where I'm doing that. But I think it's sometimes cool to throw unorthodox techniques like that to give it a little dirt, a little bit of rock and roll swagger in there. So don't be afraid, make a little noise. And that's my loose rendition of the solo to the Fallen Heroes. There's nothing left to say. And here's the harmony for those detail-oriented students. That's not the harmony. Details.